And hello, Joel. Thank you for joining us here in CT Confidential. I know you're in Turkey right now, so thank you for your time.
Thank you, Claudia, for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Well, talk to me. It's the pandemic, and this is pretty much, you and I have had many conversations, about the changes, you coming down with COVID in the past month of December, recovering successfully, thank God. And now you're out of the country. Was that weird for you?
No, it wasn't weird in any way, Claudia. The thing is that when work comes my way, I take advantage of it. Uh, I love to work. I love the sport. At one point in my life, I chose this sport, and I chose it. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it 100%. I'm not gonna be in the sport just to say I'm part of it. I'm gonna be in the sport because I'm gonna do it 100%. And I appreciate the sport, and I have a lot of love and passion for it. So I mean, not because it's a fight. It's a big fight against the big name. You know, one of the biggest, if not the best fighter of the era, Canelo Alvarez. But it's my job. It's my job, and there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it because Avni Yildirim came to me last year, early last year, before the pandemic started, and since he started working with me, I can I can honestly say he fell in love with my work. And he even told me, he goes, nobody ever told me this. Nobody showed me this. Nobody showed me that. He says, Coach, I love you. I love your work. So um, fighters become part of my family, and especially when they appreciate what you do for them.
Mhm.
And, you know, this fight happened because he is not the number one mandatory for that title. So during this pandemic, he was with me before the pandemic and we were training. But all of a sudden, this pandemic started. So he had to come back to his country. So,
Mhm.
but I worked with him, I think it was 5 or 6 months. I don't remember, but he was with me for all that time. And throughout that time, we took advantage to teach him, correct him, you know, show him different, a little different. He's no longer the same Abney that he was before. I can tell you that. And when the opportunity came, obviously, you know, I was back home. You know, we're in lockdown.
I know, major
He started.
lockdown, and you've been under, but you were dedicated enough that you actually, like I said, recovering, and actually a few members of your family were recovering as well. But you took this chance, got on a plane. Was there any doubt? Just something as simple as getting into a plane and you flew 19 hours, because you and I were in contact, 19 hours to get to Turkey. Any doubts there?
No, no, because once I went through the COVID, you know, I was basically the whole month of December. I was home, my wife, my kids. We were all home.
Mhm.
I mean nothing major. We were home for Christmas. We were home for New Year's. I mean, God does things for a reason. We weren't. I mean, we had COVID. We had minimum symptoms. You know, fever. You know, body ache. Um, that's it. You know, oxygen was good. No cough. No lung
Thank
problems.
goodness. Yes.
So we recovered. Thank God. And as soon as I was actually getting ready because I had a Melakusia fighting Kovalev the
Yes.
30th in Russia, and that went down the drain. So when I got the call from Abney's manager, says, "Hey, coach, right now we're dealing with the situation of the visa for
Mhm.
Abney to go back to you." He says, "Well, obviously the pandemic changed a lot of things, and I mean basically changed everything. So uh, they couldn't issue him a visa. So the only thing is they're working on it, and they're already going to give it to him next week." So
Mhm.
he says, "Coach, he's been training over here because I was in touch with Abney. I was telling them what to do. Let's start, you know, preparing. But an active fighter. He doesn't stop. He's always
Mhm.
training. He's always at the gym. Always doing his road work. But he needs that. He needs that person that he trusts and believes in, and it's me. So when the Melakusia fight was canceled, I said, okay, I can go. So I called Ahmed and I told him, Ahmed, you need me to go? He's coach. I need you to come for at least 10 days. because in 10 days he's getting his visa. I said, look, I got a fight on the 13th, Fantasy Springs Casino. I'll get on a plane tomorrow if you want. And I think that was a Thursday when we decided I'll fly. I mean, Thursday to leave Saturday. I go, no problem.
Which is exactly what you did, like then and there.
I mean, things were like this. I said, okay, get me on the plane tomorrow. I mean, I was thinking Sunday, but all of a sudden he goes, if you come on Sunday, you're gonna get here
Monday
at night on Monday. So why don't you leave Saturday? So you get here, and I left LA Saturday night at 6 p.m. and I got to Antalya Monday at 3 a.m.
Jeez.
So so it wasn't like from one day to the next because we flew all night. We got to Istanbul, and then I was in Istanbul for I had an 8-hour layover.
Oh Lord.
So I was there and then waited for my next flight, which was at 2 a.m. Monday, and then flew in 1 hour to Antalya, which I'm here for 1 hour. So it was a long travel. And then Monday it was like, I got here, I settled in, and I started training Avni on Tuesday.
Nice digs, by the way. Nice digs. And I understand that you have it's funny because I follow you obviously on the social media, and there's a couple posts about the Mexican corner with the Turkish fighter. So who else is up there with you in Turkey?
My son.
Oh, of course.
I brought my son. I brought my son with me, because he helps me a lot. He knows a lot, and actually, I just didn't want to come alone. I told Ahmed, I'm bringing my son with me. He says no problem, because Avni likes my son a lot. He like my brother. When he got here, it was a motivational moment when he saw my son, Coach. And he told me, he goes straight out. He goes, Coach, I'm telling you right now, when I called Ahmed, my manager, and I told him, if Coach cannot come, I don't want to fight. I don't want to. He will text me on the phone. He will text me on the phone. He says, Coach, I don't want no other coach. I just want you. If it's not you, I'm not fighting. Cancel the fight.
Let's talk about this fight. Is this Avni for a while, especially when we were talking about this possible fight against Canelo in the first term last year. What does this fight mean for somebody like Avni, and what does this mean to you? Being of Mexican descent, born and raised of Mexican family, and now you're fighting the face of boxing and perhaps the most outstanding Mexican fighter.
Well, look, I've been in a situation like that before. Remember, I trained Tim Bradley for years. When we faced Juan Manuel Marquez, to me, it was a similar situation.
True.
Juan Manuel Marquez had just almost killed Manny Pacquiao in a previous fight. He knocked out Manny Pacquiao, and then he was the fighter of the moment because he did something that nobody ever did, put Manny Pacquiao asleep. So I had the same questions from a lot of the media in regards of, you're Mexican, you're training Tim Bradley to beat a Mexican. I said, hey, I'm doing my job. To me, I don't difference anybody. I don't turn anybody down. I'm a trainer. I train fighters, regardless. If they come from another country, I'm going to train them to face anybody. It's my job. There's nothing personal. I respect Canelo Alvarez a lot. To me, Canelo is a well-made fighter in every angle. He's very, very smart. He hits hard. He has speed and everything. I respect Canelo Alvarez and his team. I really do. Putting a plan of attack to beat Canelo Alvarez is a tough task because Canelo has everything. He moves. He boxes. He goes forward. He can brawl. He has speed on punches. He has power. So to me, putting a plan together to beat a Canelo Alvarez and beating a Canelo Alvarez obviously is like getting a Medal of Honor, So I'm just doing my job, regardless if I'm training a Turkish, a German fighter, a Russian. It doesn't matter. I'm doing my job. I'm giving the fans. Well, I'm in the entertainment business, and I want to entertain the fans, giving them a good fight. I know I get a lot of comments, and I have much respect for people that text me and they know me and they tell me, and I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart when they take me and says, Coach, I respect you. I admire you as a trainer, but I don't think your fighter has a chance. Great. I mean, I like honesty. I'm not a hypocrite, but I hate when people say, "Oh, you're training another punching bag for Canelo, or you're going in there," and that really bothers me because Avni Yildirim made it to becoming the number one mandatory for that title for a reason. Okay, nothing was given to him. He worked his way up. He fought some tough fights, and look at his record. Obviously, he lost to Doral.
Yes. Now, based on that, a lot of people. I like the fact that you went into that subject, and I'm going to take you up on that little window that you gave me. Obviously, a lot of fans just keep saying, "Well, who is Yildirim? What has he done?" And based on that fight against Doral, which does not reflect the rest of his career, but it gives us a window of where he was in that moment when he fought Doral. What is different from that time to today in Yildirim's
career? What is different? The difference is that he's no longer that fighter. Mm-hmm. I go back and watch the fight, and I tell him, we watch the fight together. And I would tell him, "What were you doing?" He goes, "Coach, nobody will tell me nothing. Nobody will tell me what to do. I was just going forward, taking punches, but I just wanted to knock him out." Now, the thing is this: he was a robot, and he don't even want to be called a robot no more. Okay, and because he's no longer a robot, he's a technical fighter. He's a technical fighter with power, and in this business, Claudia, as well as other businesses, you're always going to have people criticizing. We got the good critics and the bad critics. We need them both. Regardless, I take both critics. I like people that talk negative and people that talk positive. We need them because they're talking about it. We're doing something. We're moving forward. A lot of people don't know who Avni Yildirim is. Exactly. They will know him. They will know him now. After this fight, they will know him. I guarantee you this. Going the distance, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a very realistic person. And, I'm a very humble person. And I tell you, going the distance with Canelo Alvarez, we will not win. Okay? We will not win. I'm telling you right now. What I'm doing is I'm preparing Avni to go knock out Canelo or get knocked out. But we're going to go all in. We have no medium. We have to go all in or all out. That's it.
But that's what you've always done. That's what you. I remember working with Timmy. I remember you working with Julio, your own brother. That's like you live by the sword or you die by the sword.
Exactly. And you touch a lot of points. And every day I run into questions, and I have answers, and I'm willing to give you the answers. Like people telling me, "Oh, well, you see Canelo's like 25-1 odds." Okay. No problem. I've been in this business and I've seen a lot of things. When I trained Bradley, every single one of his fights, he was always the underdog.
I know.
We went to England against Junior Witter for the WBC. We were the underdogs. I don't know. We were maybe 20-1, and we beat him. Fighting Kendall Holt, we beat him. We were the underdogs. Kendall Holt,
Juan Manuel Marquez.
Juan Manuel Marquez,
Provodnikov,
Pacquiao, Provodnikov, Devin Alexander.
Yes.
Every single time Tim Bradley walked into a fight like that, he was always the underdog. To me, it's nothing new. I know what I'm stepping up against. I'm stepping up against the best fighter of the era, So I'm preparing my fighter for a war. I'm not preparing my fighters to, hey, Avni, I want you to box this guy. I want you to be technical, use defense, move around the ring. No, I'm preparing my fighters. You know what? When that bell rings, you need to go for it. You need to find the openings, and frustrate them up here. Start attacking here, start attacking there, and surprise them. If you get surprised, say, well, you were looking for to surprise him, and you got surprised. But I can tell you this: I have a fighter with me that is physically strong. Okay, it's physically strong. The work that I'm putting in constantly every day obviously he listens to him. Canelo's strong. Canelo's a compact, solid fighter. Avni is a bigger fighter. He's bigger. His structure is bigger than Canelo. And he's physically strong. I can tell you this. I analyze based on my experience. People can criticize me and say, oh, Joel is stupid. He don't know what he's saying. Maybe, but I've been in this business long enough to know what I'm telling you. If both of these guys, Canelo and Yildirim, they meet in the middle of the ring and they exchange full power combinations with each other, it's a 50-50 chance that either or can go down. I'm telling you right now. Because Yildirim is not going to be in that ring just going in there and saying, oh, you know what, I'm in there, just to get exposure and I'm here to get a check. No, this guy right here, he has a mentality of, I'm going to go get it. Because like he told me last night, I was talking to him, he goes, Coach, I'm a people's champion. Turkey loves me. I have a lot of fans. I know you do. These people go crazy for him. He walks here like if he's the president. And he has a whole country behind him. Actually, he's the only fighter in Turkey. So you imagine if Turkey has their first boxing champion in history. So he has that in mind, and he knows what he's stepping up against. So it's like this. Vamos por todas las pinches canicas. We're going to go for all the marbles, You know what I mean?
I love that. All or none. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to February 27th. And I can definitely tell that you and I are going to the same hairdresser, or the snow is coming down really hard and we're having a lot of sand in Miami. But I'm always so glad to see you.
No, it's because I came from California and we had a lot of fires out there and all the ashes are up in the air, so they're falling down. So everybody that comes from California, they got ashes on their head. So I got to just dust them off.
So what's my excuse again?
You've been in the sun too long.
All right. But I'm so looking forward.
You're in the beach, you're in the yacht, and I mean the water, the reflection and all that. That's what it is.
Thank you. I'll take that. I'm going to take that.
Chlorine. It's the chlorine.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to February 27th. I can't wait to see you. And obviously, it's going to be a pleasure to, again, have a chat with you in the corner. And as usual, be with my family.
Always. It's always a pleasure. That we're a family in this business, and it's great getting to see each other and work. And most of all, going back to last year where everything was frozen. Now things are opening up slowly, and I'm just excited and happy that things are opening up, especially in our sport, and we're getting to see each other again. We're working together, and it's great. Hopefully this year's a good year for everybody.